Welcome back, YouTube. This is Baylor Mage, and I'm just gonna show you guys what we're doing with our thick Jugg, who's not got the thickest life pool quite yet, but we will get there. So I'm running a dual Nebuloch Jugg, Cyclone, of course, because who wouldn't? And this has been very, very tanky. So to start with, we will go over the interesting parts that we're doing. So normal Jugg stuff is all of our endurance charges. We have for now taken Unstoppable, Unflinching, Unyielding, and Unbreakable. Eventually, later on when I do deep delves and bosses, I will get rid of Unstoppable, move it into Unrelenting, and replace my boots with Comb's Roots so I can do Uber Elder safely and things like that. But for now, those are our passives. We've gotten the important ones, Soul and Steel. We've needed Dex, Brinkmanship, Lava Lash, the Fortify Wheel, every endurance charge and endurance charge related thing that we can find on the tree. All of our jewels except one are basically just there to fill out our res as much as possible. This one will be a Watcher's Eye eventually, we'll get to that. But it's just life, res, life, res. That's what we're after. We're using a Tempered Mind here to get as much accuracy as we can. It's worth 1500 accuracy, it's great. We're over here because we'll take the Alchemist Wheel eventually anyway, so we're over there anyway. But the important part of this build is we have gone with Divine Flesh. All damage taken bypasses Energy Shield, 50% of elemental damage taken as chaos damage, plus 10 to maximum chaos resist. This is given to you by a glorious vanity timeless jewel with the name Zibakwe? Zibakua? Sure, whatever, we'll go with that. So I was lucky enough to have this one that also had attack speed, fire damage, and pen, attack speed, fire damage, and pen, and that became very efficient for one travel node that was also attack speed. It was just too good. So we're Avatar of Fire, we're using this, and we're converting another 25% with our Glove Enchant right now. Eventually we will change to a Watcher's Eye that converts 40%, because right now we're losing 25% of our fizz is just disappearing into nothing. We will eventually only have 10% disappearing into nothing, which is going to be enough, and I will replace these gloves with something better. If you do not have any good nodes for the Glorious Vanity here, the original build was planned to come up into Dervish, Art of the Gladiator, Bravery, and Master of the Arena, but that's what I gave up to get all this damage here, and then I was just, with the few extra points left, just going to fill in some of the floating life nodes that I wasn't going to take in the original build. But if I didn't have this good one, that's what I would go back to. I would just drop those points and I would make sure that I head in through Dervish, Art of the Gladiator, Bravery, and Master the Arena. So on to gear. We are using dual Nebulochs, obviously. One of them has a chance to gain Onslaught on kill because that's the only place I could find to get Onslaught. We've got an Anger reduced mana reservation because that's the only way we get to fit in all of our auras. We're running Anger, War Banner, Herald of Ash, and Enlighten. Got Leap Slam, faster attacks, and Blood Rage in one weapon. Precision level 7, Blood and Sand, and Enduring Cry in the other one. We have our Combustion Weapon Elemental Multi-Totem War Chief here for combustion and extra single target damage, which is really nice. This is probably what will get dropped if I change into a Comb's Roots. And for now, we've got Cyclone, Infused Channeling, Fire Pen, Weapon Elemental, Fortify, and Pulverize. There is no Maim on this chest yet. We don't benefit from the Maim debuff that is applied to enemies because that's got to do with physical damage, but the Maim support itself comes with 20% more physical damage, and that will scale with us, so I will be looking at recrafting this or crafting a better chest into a Maim chest. We've got our Cast When Damage Taken setup. It's level 4 Cast When Damage Taken, level 12 Molten Shell, a level 7 Elemental Weakness. We went with Elemental Weakness because the quality on Ele Weak is better than the quality on Flammability, and we had to keep it a low level anyway, so I just went with Ele Weak. I didn't actually double check the math to find out whether it was more res or not. I just put this in because it was already in my GCP tab, so Probably want to double check that. I can't be bothered. And Wave of Conviction, because with Avatar Fire, it's always going to be a fire. So we're getting exposure out of that. So we end up with quite a lot of pen and minus max stuff. So we're minusing their res there, and we're minusing their res there. We've got 3 pen clusters between Lava Lash down here and these 2 that give us a little bit of extra pen. And then we've got Fire Pen in there. So it works out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it overall. There's definitely some more things to get going here. I will pick up a lot of damage by getting a Watcher's Eye. Let's just quickly demonstrate the mapping, because it is not quite Cyclone area, but it is still going pretty well. It's not the quickest. It is supposed to be a thick jug, so we're not really after the ultimate clear speed. We are after being tanky as shit. So you can see that we are still mowing things down pretty reasonably, considering we're losing 25% of our damage by not being able to pick up a an anger conversion Watcher's Eye right now. But as soon as one comes on the market for anything remotely reasonable, I will pick that up and we will solve that problem. The Cyclone Radius is respectable for a non-slayer. I'm definitely happy with it. And we are building this character with the intent of heading to 400 plus delves in hardcore and killing some Uber Elder, hopefully. I've never killed Uber Elder in hardcore. I've done it many times in softcore. So I'm hoping this character is the character that will take me there. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I do something dumb and get myself killed again. But yeah, it's pretty juicily tanky. You don't really have to worry about too much right now, and I should be able to round it out to about 6.5 to 6.8k life with some increased effect of Fortify, and all the elemental damage taken is chaos, and the max chaos res, and the jug physical mitigation. It's just should be quite good. I'll be very happy with it. One thing I will touch on is part of the reason why converting to chaos becomes so good. Not only because we're getting 85 max chaos res, but it's important because things like Shaper and Uber Elder have cold penetration built into their cold skills. So Uber Elder and Shaper, the Shaper balls hit you in the face. If you've got 75 res cap, you will take damage as if you had 25 res. Being over the res cap doesn't matter. It's got 50 cold pen attached to it. So if you've got 75 res, you will take damage as if you've got 25 res. That is how that damage works. There's nothing you can do about that. If you've got a 78 Law Weave on, you will still get penetrated by 50. However, if you convert your damage taken to another element or to chaos, the cold pen portion of that attack or spell does nothing. So I'm taking 50% of that damage, changing it to chaos, and then properly applying an 85 chaos res to it with no pen, which is another reason why I'm sort of looking into maybe using that damage taken as chaos chest as well. But I feel like my damage just isn't quite going to be there, and I really want to squeeze out that more out of MAME, so we'll see how that goes. It's definitely an option I can take. But yeah, pretty happy with it so far. Life is a little bit on the low side, but we'll work on that in the next day or two, see if we can get it up to a good, reasonable level. And it should be very, very tanky. You will not be looking at ultimate good DPS out of this. I'm hoping to get it up to about 1 to 1.2 million. And that will probably be its upper limit if I want to keep it as tanky as it is. Which is, in my opinion, fine. 1 to 1.2 mil is more than enough for pretty much any content in the game that doesn't require a headhunter. So I think I'll be pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it so far. And yeah, we will let you know how it goes in another few days' time when we've rounded out some of the gear. Thank you all for watching. I am Baylor Mage, and I will see everybody later.